Do you know your place in the universe?
We got a call of a person down on O'Shea Observatory. Looks like gunshot there.
Associate Professor Jennifer Rockwell.
One of the Rockwells?
Colonel, I'm Detective Mike Hoolihan.
See your daughter laid out like that. She was my whole life.
Jennifer, Jesus Christ.
I don't think Jesus had much to do with this, Dr. Strami.
I didn't know Night Train, the Mike Namis book, so I read it wondering, well, I don't know, I've never adapted a book, but on first reading, I just fell in love with the themes of it and the Mike, the female detective. And then as I started working on it, I read it twice and then I put it aside. And as I started working on Night Train, it just started to become mine. And very, you kind of forget it ever belonged or originated in anyone else's mind, to the point where I read Martin Amis's memoir experience and he mentions writing Night Train, and I didn't understand how he knew the characters because they were mine. Like, how did this happen? So it was almost a spiritual experience doing it. I think the film is a radical adaptation of Night Train out of blue, but I think it's also honours the themes of his book.
What do you know?
You know, you two aren't as different as you seem. You're both looking for clues.
And you can tell a lot by looking.
When I was researching Out of Blue, I got really obsessed with, we know more about the universe than we do about our own minds. And Mike, the detective, the lead homicide detective, played by Patricia Clarkson, is looking at, she's always looked at clues on the ground, she's always looked outside herself, and she starts to, in investigating the death of an astrophysicist, has to start to look and incorporate into her life ideas of outer space, or as the stars, the mystery of that universe, and also as it goes on, has to look inside herself. So it wasn't as complicated as it seems to incorporate those elements, because they were integral to her journey. I did have to learn a lot of physics on the way, so I met a lot of scientists and learned a lot about like the double slit experiment and Schrodinger's cat, and could now talk at some length about it. But I wanted elements in the film that were from her character and from the story itself, not added on or anything.
What's the story, Mike? Can you explain your place in the universe?
I am not the woman people see.
We are all stardust.
The last film I made, The Falling, was at Glasgow, so I have that experience, and just fantastic audiences, and you get a real buzz from the audience and a sense of it entering the world, because I just think a film doesn't really belong to you once it's finished, and it's not even complete till it meets an audience. So bringing Out of Blue to Glasgow, which is so important, I think, for independent films to have the Glasgow Film Festival. It completes the film and it starts it on its journey of release, and it gives it a kind of a really nice, like, a warm pat on the back and going, there you go, into the world. Or maybe it's like smacking it and it starts to cry, like giving, the birth of the baby, crying out. But yeah, so I think festivals like Glasgow, very, very crucial to independent films, and long may the Glasgow Film Festival continue.
We're following the energy, like a trail of clues, leading closer and closer to this black hole's dark heart.
Afraid of the dark, Detective.